Stands poised and set. Racing. And the roughie Heezazeb was actually the first to hit the ground. Away quickly though near the outside, playing around, driving forward. Stylish Lord, Best of the Gods out 4 deep virtually as they race to the first corner. Then Here for Checks being followed between horses. Special Sort dropping right out, Covert Rose, and one of the roughies drops straight to the back end of the field, Lord Randolph, to find itself a clear last. And so at the 1150 they go to the side, and it's playing around that has gone through to lead for Johnston Porter. Best of the Gods sitting at its girth, a length and a half. Here for Checks just getting up onto the bridle over on the outside of the favourite Stylish Lord. A length and a half to Special Sort, who looked to be in cruise mode, back on the outside of the grey Heezazeb, and then a length and a half Covert Rose, and tacking on now Lord Randolph by the 700 and playing around in control. A half to 3/4 on Best of the Gods running second. 1.5 Stylish Lord. It's in a zip fasten pocket down on the inside of Here for Checks, about to let loose any tick of the clock. They're being trailed in turn by Special Sort. Heezazeb came off the bridle, dropping back around the outside, Covert Rose, and last is Lord Randolph. They turn the corner, playing around a half a length on Best of the Gods, going up Here for Checks on the outside dangerously, and loom to them to hit the lead. Around its heels, Stylish Lord, Covert Rose running on at the 150. It's Here for Checks, shown the persuader. Covert Rose is in pursuit. Stylish Lord Here for Checks in front. Covert Rose trying to get on equal terms. They'll go to it with a bob of the heads. There won't be much in that at all. Here for Checks diving at it, Covert Rose. If anything, it might be Here for Checks a nose, but it's close. It's a photo. Behind them, Stylish Lord. In behind them came Best of the Gods, Special Sort, then Lord Randolph and Heezazeb, and playing around, who after leading compounded noticeably to finish back there virtually last in. Number 1 has held on. Here for Checks. Took a great ride by Pat Carberry to get it home from Covert Rose, Willie Pike. It dived. There's a nose between them. It's 1, 4, 3, the placings. 1, 4 and 3. Fourth is 7, Best of the Gods. Here for Checks. Doesn't win out of turn this gelding, and has been beaten as a favourite on a number of occasions. He looked all set last start. He looked all set the start before he brought some residual fitness back to a mile this afternoon, and had to be given an absolute 10 out of 10 by Pat. He sat for as long as he possibly could before he had to pull out and get going. He knew he had a fit horse underneath of him, and as soon as they balanced and he hit the front, he needed to be tested fully, because Pike was in pursuit with Covert Rose. A nose and a half a length, 137.29. The 1600 was covered in, home in 35.55, and I'm sure that the connections and Bernie Miller, the trainer, as well as Pat Carberry, would have breathed a collective sigh of relief as he found the line by a whisker from Covert Rose. The winners by Universal Ruler from Lob City for J. Abrio, A. Jardim, AP Jardim, G. Celesti, A. Grandillion, Abrio, A. Abrio, J. de Abrio. Prepared at Hopeland by Bernie Miller, ridden by Pat Carberry. Covert Rose second, the Dissident Mare from Antique Rose for Grant, Alana Williams, Willie Pike in the saddle. Stylish Lord by Playing God out of Aura Miss for Antonella Stewart, K and J.A. Stewart, trained by Russell Stewart and ridden by Braden Gath. Tight finish, and he finds his way back into the winner's circle today after a while. Here for Checks, and delivers the winning one to his connections. Race 5 is the Tab Touch West Speed Platinum over 1400, with 9 and 10 coming out. The scratchings, He's Archie and the Chief Justice, with 8 to run in the next of the day at 3 o'clock. Lockie joins us down in the yard, and today is the day for Here for Checks, who's scrambled across the line and managed to find himself back in the winner's circle.
Yes, Darren, today is the day for Here for Checks. Bernie and I are just sharing a laugh about this horse. Bernie, horses, they can be frustrating animals at times, but I'm sure this is a really rewarding effort to see Here for Checks back in the winner's circle.
Yeah, very much so, mate. Last week was just a bloody embarrassment, but we worked not hard. I've never worked hard in my life, but you put a lot of yards in to get results for people, and an animal they're animals, mate, so that's what happens. But before we do any more, I'd like to thank Fauzi, our farrier. This bloke's done a marvellous job with this horse. He's got so many leg problems and feet problems, and he's there religiously for me, and he helps out immensely, you know. He's got to come from Ascot out to our place, which is an hour plus drive, and he does it. So Fauzi, thanks, mate.
I know we joke about this horse, Bernie, particularly his last start effort only 7 days ago, but now that he's sound and well, do you feel like you can finally get some continuity into his racing?
I hope so, mate. I really do. Like last week, Paddy said that was the best prelim, though you guys grabbed me, I couldn't watch it. And he said it was the best prelim he's done for a long, long time. I really thought we had him last week. At home, he was so well, eating well, you know, being feisty like he does. He was an absolute lunatic in the truck, but that's where he's got to be. No, I think we got him on top of his game now, mate, and we've just got to keep doing the 1%ers and keep him there. Can
he still stretch out to 1,800 metres, or do you feel like the mile is really his go?
I think at this point in time, the mile is his fruitcake. I think in time he will, and I'd like to get him that way. I think he'll appreciate getting his toe in the ground a little bit as well. I think these tracks are just that tiny little bit stingy for him. But yeah, we'll just get him over this, and Paddy and I just keep on talking like we do and just head towards the next one.
A nice result regardless. Well done here, Ben.
Thank you very much, mate.
There's Bernie Miller, and here's his right-hand man, Paddy Carberry.
Paddy Carberry on the scales, about to join us for what I'm sure will be an entertaining chat about here for Cheques. Paddy, at least we didn't have to be angry at him for too long.
I was still angry at him, and I can't repeat some of the words I was growling at him at the last probably 250 metres.
At any stage then, did you think, not this again?
The last bit, like I knew Willie was coming. Always a concern when he's on one of Grant's and he's coming, but I thought the last bit when I really threw the kitchen sink at him, he had a little bit more of a go, but yeah, I was really disappointed in the horse last start. He didn't really give his best, and I've thought that about him a few times. I probably don't stick up. I probably don't stick up for him much, but a few other people do. But after our conversation post-race Saturday night, Bernie was in agreement because he got home and he carried on around the paddock like he hadn't been to the races. So that's why he's here today. And when I worked him on Wednesday, he just done a bit of evens and he just thought he's just there for a bit of a joke, you know. And I just said to Bernie, this just proves exactly what we thought. He didn't really give everything he's got. But, you know, good to see him get a win today, and hopefully he'll gather a bit more intestinal fortitude out of today and continue on, because we know he's got a bit of ability, but just have a crack, mate.
Sounds like he's like my co-host, bit of a pretty boy. Well done, Paddy.
Which one?
Lock.
I don't mind being here for Cheques. I'd take that as a compliment. He's a winner. That suits me just fine, but great to see you here for Cheques. Back in the winner's circle, and that will be the most entertaining post-race interview you'll see all day. Bernie Miller and Pat Carberry, two absolute characters of our game. But our attention now turns to race 3 at Geraldton, the Tap Touch. Have you got the touch handicap? Over 1,100 metres, where Hillside Horace is our favourite. 2.10 out to $2.90. Liberty Dame, 4.60 into 3.70. Lucky Florin, 4.40. And Solid Nefertiti is 11 into $6. Fuzzy Box, 7.50 out to 9. And then what for Chris Nicol? 18 into $17. That's a look at the runners in this market. Matty, how do you order the 4 ahead of the Tap Touch? Have you got the touch handicap?
Nice maiden here. I'm going 2, 4, 5 and 6 in this. I'm putting Hillside Horace on top. He's second up. He comes out of a really nice form race behind Bolter, the Slap and Southland. I really want to follow that form reference here through. And he comes back in grade 2. He drops from a class 2 to a class 1, drops 100 metres, and he only rises a kilo. So I think there's